powerlifting style coaching. But I'm not a good motivator in that sense. However, like I think as an employer, I'm really good there. Like with managing a team and doing all that, like that's been a thing since Brant got hired. That's a skill that I've never got to do. I've never been in management of anything.
Right.
And I really like it. And, it really matters to me how I get to give to the team to keep them fired up. Like I can see that that's the path for the whole thing to go forward is just keep pouring here.
Right.
And it's been fucking cool, man.
I kind of coach a lot, right? So when it comes
like
to
how many online clients do you manage?
At first I thought 60 was right.
Oh, that's 2 a day. That's all I hear. I hear 2 a day.
No, but they all work out every day.
No, I know that, but I mean, like I would have to write programming twice a day is the way I think about it.
Or 15 once.
Wait, how does 15 go to 60?
I write them once every 4 weeks in a progression because
Got
you know
it.
where you want them to go, and you can adjust and alter things as you go. As
Yeah,
you need.
sure. And I mean, there's
easy.
a template.
Right.
It's programming, right? You're not rewriting a book every 60 people.
Right. And there are apps and stuff to make it better, to make it more scalable. And I need to work on that. And that's something that you have.
Yeah,
set up that's
TrainHeroic or
nice.
anything like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Dude,
those
they're
are also
great to work with.
I think they're also good and responsible.
Yeah, TrainHeroic is pretty awesome. I think even for the athletes more than anything, just because they have so much information and stats. Like, oh my gosh, like it tracks it all for you. So instead of like trying to remember,
Yeah, it really gamifies it well.
Yes, exactly. Perfect.
And then on top of that, for something like TrainHeroic, like what me and Derek Woodsky do, we do ours together, and then Bonnie's got hers, but Bonnie's got like the way she has scaled it. She's got the TrainHeroic thing that I think is $15 a month or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that's what she charges. And then she's got Bonchro Go, which is daily programming. That's $6.
Right.
Right. And you don't get any access to her with that one. It's just a PDF file.
Right.
And so like
She
having
does a
those
good job of interfacing.
Yeah,
with them
dude, having
online.
those tiers are great. And then she's got maybe 30 one-on-one clients.
Right.
And so, I mean, not only is each tier getting it, it's a feeder system that people will always want to get in.
Right.
And so it's been really cool to watch her build that and then see where you can outsource things like the person who's doing the daily uploading to TrainHeroic.
Right.
That's something someone else can do.
True.
And so that's where you save time.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of the next ways I look at growing.
Yeah, good, man. Dude, if there's any advice ever, man, like, let me help.
Yeah, automation, I think, is super key. I think one thing that would help with TrainHeroic, are you sponsored by TrainHeroic?
I'm not sponsored by them in any way, but we work on their platform, and they're very, very nice to us.
I just think they need a cooler name.
Fucking nerds.
Like,
Is there any, Brad, is there any way that we can start an app that just the front page is our logo, but then it just goes to TrainHeroic's app?
you know what I'm saying?
TrainHeroic, what's better?
Heroic training. Bam.
Fucking nailed
Yeah,
it.
that you already got it better. You just put it in the phone book.
Just the Get Swolt app.
Yeah, I mean, like,
just get these games, boy.
I just think
And it
so,
just has pictures of Russ
so when
Swole on
people
it.
say things like
That would sell.
TrainHeroic, kind of it's like when
You can
people
look
are
like this.
when people are like critical of like lifters saying like, oh, we're going to war.
Yeah, no, I get that correlation, and I could see that.
There's nothing heroic about training for powerlifting.
I don't believe so either.
That's why it just like
Yeah,
gets me a
I
little
get it.
bit.
Yeah, you and I both get annoyed by it. Then like, yo, it's a fucking hobby.
And then as soon as you get into the other apps that are similar, people are like, yeah, no, they suck. TrainHeroic's way better.
Yeah, dude.
So that's where they kill it.
And so
They are
like,
good.
oddly enough, so back when Mike Beach was working with me and Hayden doing stuff like that, we had tried to put one of my original programs on TrainHeroic like fucking really early on.
Right.
And the app was so rough that like I just couldn't maintain it.
Yeah.
I just couldn't do it. But so when they came back around this time, I was like, hey man, I tried that. And I'm like, you know what? I bet they've made some slight business improvements with technology since then. So yeah, it's been great.
I have a buddy that you probably met him at one of our meets, Mike Greeno. He's a like software developer, and he programs. I think he coaches like maybe 20 people, and he uses TrainHeroic and he likes it. But I think he said he's put in like 500 bug fixes. I'm like, you're their most annoying coach they have.
Dude, can you, but like as I do really, and I do really simple things online, and there's pains in the ass.
Yeah.
I can't imagine operating a thing like that and like the amount of effort it takes as a business.
Yeah.
I just now I just have a lot of empathy for anyone who has a decent sized business. And I know that they're just in a room like this and everything's on fire and they're yelling, we're doing our best.
I don't know how Adobe is even still alive.
Dude.
I don't know how.
Or Amazon? What the fuck are you talking about?
So when it comes to me, like when I think of like switching from using like Google Sheets is what I usually use, or like Google Drive.
Sure.
You know? And it's just easy and it's familiar and I use it for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, man, if it ain't broke.
Yeah. And so like the thought of like taking the time to stop and switch, even though I know it'd be good for me, because here's the great thing about it is if you're on TrainHeroic, then you have to do your tax paperwork through them.
No.
In a good way.
It's not an either or, dude.
Right.
You don't stop doing what you're doing with the Google Docs.
Right.
That's your one-on-one people.
Right.
You do the TrainHeroic.
Oh, for all the
and
other
that's
stuff.
a scalable. You can have fucking 500 people on TrainHeroic.
Yeah.
That it's the same effort. It's one. TrainHeroic is like having one client.
Right. I've also thought of some other ideas in the gym too to spend my time better because I get pulled a lot of areas there too. And I've even had meetings and I've been, so honest with my clients. If they say something about, hey, you might get pulled away and they're right. It happens to me. And I don't like it. And I wish I could focus a little bit better, on every little thing that I'm doing. That's why I try to simplify things and why you're passionate about that. And so when it comes to that, like I'm thinking,
and one of the reasons I have to,
because I floor train some too, like I train people in the gym.
Right.
And, hours a day. And that also limits what else I can do on my computer or in the office or, anything like that or coming here. That's why it's hard to schedule sometimes. And, if I just said, hey, on Tuesday and Thursday, I'll just be there from this time to this time. And that's just when I'm there. And instead of taking individual people and trying to fit to them and, because I could do what I do in a group really effectively.
Yeah, I think you're great at that though.
Yeah.
However, like
that's why I need a bigger room.
But I look at the TrainHeroic thing as totally separate. Like that's a totally separate thing, right? Like you could bang out all of your TrainHeroic programming in one day a month and have someone input it into the system for very little. Like what we do with the team coaching, with that, it puts it up on this. You schedule it into the calendar as an athlete. It's got the workouts. There's a place that everyone can chat, like a message board. And I think TrainHeroic takes $1 an athlete.
Right.
And so that deal has been super, super rad.
Right.
And it
just
doesn't require a ton of time.
It legitimizes a lot. Like for that, you have a, piece of tax paperwork to help you get through the end of it too.
Yeah, man.
And I think that's good for a lot of people, especially like I'm really good at wanting to do what I want to do every day. And I'm really good at wanting to do this. And that's not a problem for me. But what I don't want to do is also like do my tax paperwork.
No.
And that stuff just does not get me. And I would so much rather they take so much more money and just tell me what it is. That'd be so much easier. And if I never had to have a conversation about it ever again with anybody I didn't want to.
I learned
how worth that is to me.
Oh, I understand.
Dude, I learned my first accounting class in college. I was like, if I ever have enough money that I need to bother with accounting, I will hire someone to help me.
Yeah.
Think about this.
I will ruin my life.
Me and Bonnie rolled into here after it was a couple days or something before taxes were due. And like we came, like I wasn't expecting anyone to be here when I got here, but I'm like, I have to go expel all of this anger that I have. And Bonnie was here and I'm like, man, I just did my tax. She's like, me too. And we were both just miserable because it was so bad.
Think about this.
Dude, I don't even think about it.
When you got the Camino,
yeah.
How much more would you pay if you never had to go in the DMV? And this is why.
Dude,
this is why. Hold on.
El Camino has still not fucking registered because
If
every
you
time I
paid-
mail things in, because there's not a fucking place I can go. There's not a fucking human that answers a goddamn telephone. So it's this fucking mail tag. And every time I send a new thing, they tell me, well, you forgot this part. That's another magical fucking document that has to be generated out of the fucking ether.
So the government could
Oh my
figure
God.
out, this would not be that hard. Think about this for a minute. The government could figure out that there was a number per year that they could ask somebody to pay and know that that person won't be a fuck up. And just let them have what they have. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, hey, Matt, if you paid $2,200 a year, you never had to do any of this ever.
I never have to go to the DMV.
Ever. Anything like that.
I'll pay $2,200 a year just
And
to
they'll just
never have to
generate
go
your
to
stuff
DMV.
because there's a number out there that they could figure out.
It cost me 9 fucking hours to get my motorcycle license to go on that trip. 9 fucking hours. The actual time that I was involved talking to a human at the DMV was under 30 minutes. And that was for 2 tests and my actual license.
I'm just saying I will pay more for convenience.
Oh, God, that's all I
Yeah.
spend money on. That's the only thing I fucking care. That's why this is in the same place as my gym, which is a mile from the house.
My 21st birthday, I was in Las Vegas and my uncle's super cool guy, Bill. Love you, Bill. And Bill is in Colorado now. And so my uncle Bill took us to like this really good Latin restaurant in like the Cosmopolitan or something like that. And so we like pulled up and I thought it was cool going through the valet. Like being from Topeka, Kansas, we don't even have a valet.
That's fair.
And so I barely ever went to Kansas City. And when I did, it was like to go to the haunted houses and there's no valet there either.
What?
And
What type of shithole haunted houses are you going
there's
to?
some like guy in an old tuxedo carrying a rat around, but there's no fucking valet.
Carrying a rat around.
Always.
One of those boxes with a crank and a monkey on it.
And so I'd never like really been around valet. But I was like 21, so I was getting to the part of my life where I would see it more, you know? And we go through the valet and I was like, oh, Uncle Bill's valeting. And he was like, yeah, it's like a $3 tip is customary, JP. And I was like, this is $3? Yeah,
this is incredible.
He's like, yeah. And I was like, I will never not valet again
Yeah.
the rest of my damn life.
No, if there's valet, I'm taking it.
Every time.
Yeah.
And if
Mostly-
there's not, if it's shut down for COVID, I'm upset.
I also really love driving the stupid fucking truck
valet.
into the valet.
Oh, yeah.
Just be like,
I
here, take
drive.
this, don't
Because
scratch.
most of the time they're just like, what the fuck? So they end up just parking it right by the door.
My
'cause it doesn't fit
F-150
anywhere.
My F-150 is the color of that monster can.
Yes.
And it's like totally granddaddy colors. I bought it. It was like 6 years old. It was like the year it was the month I opened the gym. I totaled my Altima that I had from being a sales guy, and which I paid cash for on a bonus. So it's like I go from the Altima to totaling it in the back of an F-150. So I bought an F-150.
So whatever you put this into the back to is your next vehicle.
Can't wait to hit that Camino.
Sweet. Poor fucking, that thing's a tank, dude.
But
would
it totally
handle it.
looks like a 70-year-old just traded that in for
Yeah,
a Dually or
100%.
something, you know, like it had like 8,000 miles a year was the average on it when I bought it.
Dude, that amazes me that people end up with cars with low mileage on it. I drive like a fucking, just everywhere.
Yeah, I'm driving like a maniac.
But I get it, right? Like, yeah, I bet Andy doesn't put hardly any miles on
I
his
mean,
car.
I don't.
No.
No, you don't either, right?
No, I mean, because
makes
anytime
sense.
I'm in a car, I'm usually with you.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah,
it's
that
your
adds
truck.
up.
So, yeah.
He's got
My
he's
driving-
got bonus miles.
My driving is from, I
Especially now.
think I fill up my tank maybe once a month, if that.
That's pretty similar to the Tundra.
In my first job,
Fuck.
I was working at Benedictine College in Atchison, Kansas. And living in Atchison, and if I went anywhere, I got a rental car. But living in Atchison, I like rode my bike to the farmer's market. I was like 255 pounds at the
Fuck
time.
yeah.
I lost a bunch of weight.
What are you
after
doing at the
football.
farmer's market?
Just buying whatever I could. They had like goose eggs and shit. And I was making like goose egg omelets in the morning.
Fucking baller.
Yeah. And
Putting diamonds in it.
so I was like riding my bike down to the farmer's market and back into my house. And so I think I filled up my tank in my Trailblazer like once a month, you know.
What was your first car?
1972 Dodge Challenger.
Oh man, that's a fucking pretty good car.
Root beer brown with gold flakes.
Rolling turd.
The turbo turd, that's what they called it.
Oh, what an incredible car.
My friends like learned how to peel out in it. Like you
Fuck
could go
yeah.
you could go 20 through a intersection and peel out on the other side.
No way.
It was
Come on.
wild. It had meats on the back.
This is like in high school?
Yeah, I was 15.
How? How did you end up with this?
So when I was 14,
Who'd you blow?
can I tell kind of a long story?
Fuck yeah.
It's going to be okay.
I
So
will sit here for it.
the other night I started telling somebody this story. You know John Oldham? The bacon and beer bells at the Speedos and the
Yeah, sure,
diapers? So like I'm watching his story and he's like got like flip flops on and he's weed whipping in an advertisement for underwear. And I message him and I'm like, hey man, this is great.
This is great.
And he like immediately gets defensive. Like he's like, hey, on Facebook, they're like telling me I can't do that. Like, because of it's dangerous.
Oh my
like
God.
people are like defending them, you know? And so then I was like, hey man, I was in a commercial recently. Like somebody called the gym and needed a big guy. And so I was in like a made for TV flashlight commercial for the tack light.
Oh man, incredible.
And then I went back and I looked on YouTube and like the first commercials had like 500,000 hits. So I was like, this is kind of funny. So they paid me like $300 to go to this dirt racetrack and do this commercial on a Thursday night in March.
Whoa.
That's so hilarious. I wasn't going to do it because I thought it was silly.
Fuck, I would never not do that.
So one of my clients, one of my buddies, he's a client, he's a buddy. His name's Bo, and he moved to Kansas City from LA, and he's a visual effects artist. And so he builds like screen stages and stuff. And
oh shit.
Yeah, he made part of Harry Potter.
Whoa.
And
which part?
The troll in Harry Potter 1 in the bathroom.
Okay.
That's
pretty fucking cool.
Stuff like that. Oh, the song Butterfly. Come, my lady.
I'm aware. It's a classic.
He did that video.
Oh my God.
There's
what
like
a
butterflies in the forest.
What a proud, shining moment of life, I'm sure.
Yeah. So I was like talking to him on like Friday morning. He's my morning client. He's so cool. And so I'm talking to him and he's like, yeah, do it. I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And so that was funny. And then that got me talking to him about like I was in made for TV movies as a kid.
Hold on. Fucking come on, man.
This gets deep.
What? Yeah. Why? How? So you're now returned to acting.
So,
oh man, this is why you were nervous. I don't want to do it. I've been on the silver screen before.
they hadn't checked my IMDb yet.
Yeah.
So
my rates.
When I was like 9 years old, or maybe even 8, I don't know. And my mom was an extra in a movie. This company had come to Topeka, Kansas, called Kansas Filmworks is what their name was. And they were going to do 4 made-for-TV movies. And they had a casting director, and she hired my mom as an extra. And her whole job was there was like a guy and a girl fighting in a bathroom. And my mom walks in, and they're fighting. And she goes,
nice.
So she gets FaceTime.
Dude, did she practice it at home or? Like,
I hope so. I don't remember.
Oh, you don't remember?
But I think she had. You remember those barrettes that were like this long and they had big teeth?
Yeah.
Like they do the whole back of your head.
Right.
She had one of those in.
Back.
She had one of those in
a made-for-TV movie.
Yeah, and so
did y'all watch it a lot?
No.
Okay.
Twice. She probably watched it a lot.
Oh yeah.
And then so the casting director didn't know anybody. She was from California, so she hired my mom as the assistant casting director. She's loudmouth like me and knows everybody. She doesn't know a stranger like me, right? You know? And so they always said when I was a kid, like never met a stranger, you know?
Fuck
and
yeah,
so
yeah.
she was the assistant casting director. So there were 3 movies and I was like an extra in all of them.
Oh my God.
And so like there was one that was about kids on a bus getting taken. And I was just like, when the bus was being shot with like no faces or anything, I was like Fat Kid 6 on the bus.
Fat
you know?
Kid 6 on the bus.
Like that, you know?
Incredible. This is way more acting than I've ever done.
So the movies, I met Martin Sheen.
Okay.
He was in one of them, and he didn't want to be in a hotel, so we rented a house like a block from our house, across from Washburn University in Topeka,
You guys
Kansas.
would just carpool with him to set?
I watched the 4th of July fireworks on his lawn, and he taught me a secret handshake.
Fucking hey.
I don't remember it, but I did for like 4 years.
Just make up a new one and say that was
I know.
it.
I remember part of it. And part of it was he was like, and
all right.
So Martin Sheen had this handshake that he shipped. Anyway, so then Brooke Shields.
Okay.
I have a shirt, a picture of me. I was super fat with a bowl cut. I was like 10, as my hair was huge, like a mushroom. And I had on a Ninja Turtles.
Picture you looking like Chris Farley from fucking
but
Beverly Hills Ninja.
But a kid, yeah. Chris Farley as a child is what I looked like at this time. This is like 2 years before I started lifting weights and getting huge, right? So this is like my awkward stage. And so I have this picture with Brooke Shields, and I'm wearing a white Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle sweatshirt.
Oh, incredible.
Yeah, it was awesome. Then there's like this other really hot lady that was in one of the movies, and she's like wearing this hot red dress, like in a church scene, and I'm wearing a teal silk shirt.
Yeah, can you find any of these on YouTube? You should figure out how to
I have
locate
them all.
Oh, incredible.
They're in a box.
Well, yeah, but then you have to find a VHS player.
That's true. No, I mean, I have like pictures of these people and like behind the scenes, you know. And so
why didn't you continue pursuing acting?
So I'm almost getting right back to the money point here.
All right.
Okay,
I'm
so
still in.
I forgot for a minute. Now I'm back.
Okay.
So every time I was on set, I would be an extra, right? Even if we got shot or not. So I would get two $20 bills stapled together right in the middle. I don't know why.
Probably because it was easier to keep track of them when they were handing them out to 100 people.
Yeah,
here's
exactly.
yours. Here's
Yeah.
yours. Here's yours.
I saved them and I bought a Honda 80 motorcycle
Fuck yeah. Well done.
when
Good
I was
investment.
like 10. And that was my first vehicle, right? You know, I bought.
Yeah.
So we were called car people. You know, like my dad and I. You know, he was into cars. He rebuilt a Mustang and stuff. And
Damn it.
So Father's Day was yesterday. So we'll talk about this a little bit.
All
so
right.
so this is our thing that we did. We like worked on cars together. And I don't know shit about him. I barely paid attention, but he was great. And so we first when I was 14,
You're just hitting stuff with a plastic hammer. You're like,
man.
this is great.
So my first job was I worked at the skating rink.
Okay. First job.
Matt, I skated 5 nights a week.
Yo, I skated my
5
ass
hours
off
a
growing
night.
up, dude.
I had
Was
4 pairs
dancing.
of skates. I had Emmett Smith cross trainers on wheels.
Fucking Christ.
But then one of the guys that was cool that
I
had
just
a
had some
Mustang
speed
that worked
skates.
at the skating rink.
He sounds cool.
He had Jordan 5s on wheels with the glow
Come
tones, and I
on.
would gank those, and I would skate in those. They had dance plugs, so I could only slide stop.
What do you mean you would gank him? You'd be like, yo, let me wear your shoes for a bit?
He was a player, so he was like, yes, please do.
Whoa.
Because he'd be working, and I'd be skating, so he would let me borrow his skates. And I was like undefeated for years in races, and I played like when I was 12, I played on an 18 and over roller hockey team.
God damn. See, I'm so fucking mad. This is a Southern thing I am absolutely furious about is that I never got exposed to playing hockey.
We didn't get ice though till I was like a freshman in high school, and I was already like, see, I'm playing football.
You know, I think I could have killed at hockey.
Yeah, it was so fun. Like I was way good at playing defense, and I was fast too. But these guys were all super older, and we like play like in Kmart's parking lot with like the like pillow sides, you know, like the you know.
Man,
Squishy
we
things.
tried to get roller hockey going in
So that was
Sulphur,
my
and it
first
just me and
job.
2 dudes.
That was my first job. I worked at the skating rink, and then I got paid there, and I bought a 1967 Ford Mustang,
That's a fucking good car.
candy apple red, but it was just in bad shape. And
Well,
so
because you're 16.
I would walk to. If I was 14 when I bought that car,
Then
So-
of course it's in bad shape.
maybe even 13.
It's not
so
mint.
It was $450 is
Right.
what I paid for it.
Right.
So I would walk to the gym. That was one place I walked. And, you know, I would walk to Hastings record store, right? Did you guys have a Hastings?
We did not.
It was like a local franchise, but like
Okay.
it was kind of like it felt a little bit more like Empire Records.
We had like a Sam Goody. Okay, so we had one of those, like
Yeah.
more of an independent.
Yeah, it was a chain, but not a chain that's only in the Midwest.
Gotcha.
You know, like Valentino's Italian buffet. I said Italian buffet the other day, and somebody was like, "What?" And I was like, "In Topeka, Kansas."
Yeah,
there
we
is."
had them. We had them in the South.
Okay, I figured.
Oh,
Shoney's too.
We had Shoney's for sure.
Yeah. And so anyway, I worked at the skating rink and I bought that Mustang, but it was just a piece of shit. The only thing the Mustang was good for is I hid my parental advisory stickers in the glove compartment. I had Sublime, Dr. Dre Chronic, Bones Thugs and Harmony. My dad broke that one in my face. He was like,
Can you imagine at this point doing that? Can you imagine seeing your kid with a thing that says "fuck" and you go, "Absolutely not." Like
he's
that.
9,
that
so it's
that's
a
a,
little early,
no
but,
point.
Yeah.
I mean, even like, come on. The language thing. I just like look. Why don't we teach people how to appropriately use it instead of abstinence?
Totally. So I got the Mustang was not good. So I got rid of the Mustang, and I was reading the car mags that I got from Hastings. I was walking to Hastings, walking to the gym. They were in the same shopping mall, and I would go up there and I would get magazines, car magazines, or I would read them, whatever. And the Mustang had a tiny engine. It was a 289.
Okay.
What's the Camino got?
302.
Okay, it's bigger.
It is.
It's in the 300s. It's the tiniest Chevy engine, but it's in the 300s.
Right.
But if you get it redone completely, you're not keeping the 302.
Not exactly. I'm going to go to an LS3 and a T56
Exactly.
6-speed.
So
I'm trying to put it around. If I can nail it, I'm going for 666 horsepower.
that'd be tough.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna fucking
Every time
black
you
her out,
started,
dude.
is Gino gonna
Oh, yeah.
talk?
I wish, dude. I like Gino a lot.
So my only criticism was like I was watching the Taylor Atwood video and I can't hear any music. So like when Gino stopped talking, it was like church.
Oh, I haven't
Dude,
seen any of that in a
This
meet
was
yet.
wild. It was a wild
I
thing.
just like hanging out with Gino.
No, I need to. I've never met him.
dude, Taylor's a freak. He almost outtold Russ,
What?
Gnarly.
and he's 74.
Yo,
All right. I got to stay on topic for a second. So, because if I lose it, it's gone. So, I always like when I was a kid, I liked Colossus. I liked all the big Juggernaut, like
yeah, of course.
one of the bear chasers told me I was like a Jack Juggernaut, and I was like, you get me. That was the best compliment I've ever gotten, babe.
Jack Juggernaut. That's fucking pretty rock.
Yeah, I put it on my story. I was like, ladies, this is how you compliment a guy. So thank you. So I wanted a big engine. I'm seeing 440. I'm seeing Hemi. I'm seeing like some Tim Allen stuff,
Well, all right. I'm with the times.
So I wanted a big engine car because I was a big guy, and
makes sense.
Yeah, it's made me feel good, And so I saw a Dodge Challenger come up in the paper. Everything was in the paper, classifieds.
I remember
read them.
shopping for cars and looking at stuff and like picking up Auto Trader.
It was like looking at an eBay and picking out the shoes you needed.
Dad, look at this.
If
This
I
car
ran
one.
track, I would get these shoes. That's what I would do, And
Like East Bay.
yeah. So I would do that with the classifieds with cars, and I found a 1972 Dodge Challenger. I looked it up and I was like, man, that's aggressive. I want that. And so we went and looked at it.
Up. Like, what, you go to the library? Found some Dodge Challenger
I
books?
feel like I had like America Online at the time.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I was,
Wait.
at the time, yeah. I was in high school. I was
Yeah, it
16.
would have been a rough looking internet, but it may have got
I
there.
had dial up.
Fair.
My first internet project I had in 7th grade when I was 12 was to do a paper on Crazy Horse. And I looked it up and I found a strip club, Crazy Horse Saloon, first thing. And so my first internet search in my life was porn related.
Nice.
Mine couldn't have been far behind.
I'm sure it was not. Possible jobs in the area, strip club DJ.
Yeah.
So I saw the Challenger, and this guy that did drag races had it, and he just like dropped a shitty engine. It was a 383 though,
Jesus, all right.
and we got it rebuilt 30. It got bored 30 over, so it's probably around like 400 cubic inches. And then my dad and I did like the top end and the front, and like we had the engine rebuilt by somebody else. We did the transmission, which is why reverse didn't work great. I had to park. I parked in the school on the hill, so if like the front spots were gone, I didn't care. I had to park, or I had to pull through.
There's something about
Everybody else
like,
probably
yours-
thought I had my spot, but
Dude, my
for real,
Jeep-
I had to park there.
Yeah, my Jeep in high school was such a one of those that like
was a
it's
beater.
just a peculiar fucking thing that like no one else is driving this. Like
loved
you
it.
need
I
you
could
need
see
experience
I
to
could
drive.
see you in like a Scout.
Yeah, the El Camino is the same way. Like good fucking luck.
Yeah. I've been in that. I think I could figure it out, but it'd be a minute.
Yeah.
It'd be like in the
If you were in
80s
a
when you
rush to
steal a
steal
semi.
it- yeah, if you
in
were
the
in a
80s, it was a big deal to steal a semi, and you can't get the gears.
Fucking 14
in the
of
movie.
them.
Did you ever see Think Big? Two
Think
bodybuilder twin brothers. In
Yeah,
a
yeah.
crime
The
movie.
Armenian brothers that were in a bunch of bodybuilder movies. Those dudes fucking ripped. They were so jacked.
Look up, Brant, sometime write it down. Look up Think Big. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Look at the two Armenian dudes. These twins that were bodybuilders starred in like a bunch of 80s kind of super B-level action movies.
Yeah, they were like in a semi-truck. They're semi-truck drivers in this one.
like barbarian twins.
Yeah, and they were saving DJ from Full House.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was the victim in the movie. Yeah,
Man, those
So-
Full House kids, they nailed it.
killed it. Bob Saget's still
Bob
relevant.
Saget's great.
He's awesome.
Wildly funny.
I quote Bob Saget a lot, and other people don't get it, but it's from Half Baked.
What's his line in Half Baked?
He goes, "Marijuana? You're addicted to marijuana? I suck dick for crack. Did you ever suck dick for marijuana?" And it was Bob
valid.
Saget, so it was hilarious, And it's when Dave Chappelle went to the NA meeting for weed.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and they just made fun of him in it, which we wouldn't do
It's
that.
not a real drug.
Yeah. And so anyway, I got
mean-
a Dodge Challenger, and my dad and I rebuilt it, and it had white interior and 6x9s in the back, and I had to like crank the Slipknot album to hear it, Like when somebody was rolling through busting Slipknot or Deftones or Tool or something, it was me.
It was you.
Just to hear it over my engine. So if I drove through the parking lot at lunchtime, because we had open lunch and we left every day because we were cool.
Fuck yeah, we did.
And the real reason is I didn't leave for lunch because I was cool. My mom made me lunch every day of my life.
Oh my God. My mom was a teacher, so like
So My mom worked from home.
I also wasn't interested.
Yeah. So when I was a kid, she had a daycare. So
These dudes
do you see them?
These dudes are so rad, dude.
They're awesome. The Raiders sweatshirt. It's a crop top if you blow it up.
Oh yeah, dude. Look how just fucking jacked and rad they are.
They're the Barbarian Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I hope they're doing good.
I hope so too, man.
You know what I mean? Like
They were so funny.
I hope they didn't try to get weird. Like, yeah, you're not Arnold.
I wasn't influenced by this at all as a kid.
Nah, man. Like you're not Arnold,
I
but
wonder how
fucking
many
good work,
decisions I
dude.
made because of this.
Oh god.
It was great.
That's awesome.
They got some luscious locks.
Oh yeah,
amazing.
that hair is wet. They are
mullets are so
100%
good.
wet heads.
Moisturized and unbothered. These guys.
Whatever species that operates in the WWE is also what these guys are. It's just their head is always wet, like
They're
whatever
there.
the Undertaker has just got out of a shower before he goes out.
They're always like walking through a mister at
Yeah,
the
it's
at
exactly
Worlds of
right.
Fun during.
They're always oiled up.
They're
Yeah.
running through. They're standing in line at Six Flags at all times.
They've
like
never
in the summer,
heard of dandruff.
getting misted.
No.
None.
Most moisturized
Just
hair ever.
hats are dripping.
So I would drive home every day for lunch, and my mom she worked from home, and when I was a kid, she had a daycare, so she's always home, and she would yesterday for Father's Day, she came up to the gym and made biscuits and gravy for 12 of us, and
God,
yeah,
man.
she's
Incredible.
wild. Yeah, that's like her favorite thing to do, you know. And whenever I go home, it's like, what's the menu? I'm like, oh God.
When do you think she transformed into being a mom? You know what I mean? Because that's a super fucking mom thing to
When
do.
I was an amazing kid,
Well, fuck.
gave her a reason, Matt.
God damn it. Yeah, because like as a dude that's 40 and not gonna have kids
Yeah,
or getting 40-ish,
sure. I had two, so we're cool.
right? And it's like the idea of doing that level of a dad thing to me, like I know that I would have to force it,
Yeah,
whereas I know she's not.
right.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
there's a switch that some point happens that like, yo, that's a fucking mom move.
There's just some
To
point.
go up and cook biscuits and gravy for dudes at the gym.
There's some point when like they're standing in front of your face and like you're waking up to like a shit problem, you know, and sometimes at that point you're either like just really in love with like being able to do that for them, or you're faking it. You know, sometimes it's tough, but you always want to, you know. So she would always have. So not only would like lunch be ready, but it'd be like homemade. Like it'd be like leftovers from last night reheated. And she knew what time I'd be there because it was consistent.
Yeah.
And so it would be like on the table hot
Oh man.
with a 32-ounce glass of milk in the fridge that's fresh. She
Ooh-wee.
would pour the milk. I didn't even have to pour it. And then if she couldn't be there, it'd be like on a plate already for me. Or if she couldn't get that done, she'd like go to Subway and she'd get the sandwich and unwrap it and put it on the plate.
You
and pour
I
the
had-
milk.
You and I had very different childhoods.
And
Mine was also great, but this is different.
I just got a hamstring cramp.
Oh no!
Oh, no.
Is this the first?
Oh no! He's fucking
No,
blown
you
out
guys-
in the podcast.
Oh no, you guys didn't see.
I'm
it
good.
I think it was when you were podcasting with Kelly. I had a foot cramp over here.
Yeah.
and I
You
was
told
over
me.
here. I was over here like,
So my legs are so short that I have a little thing against high chairs because my hamstrings are always like slammed against the bottom, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
and because my feet barely touch the thing, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm all torso, man. So
Oh, torso.
yeah. So
And a
so,
fucking brilliant one it is.
so the turbo turd, I would drive that back to school, and I knew the cars that had alarms that I could set off with my car. I had like 3 1/4-inch hooker headers and dual exhaust, you know, like glass packs or something. And it would go by and I would go and hit it, and then you'd hear mom, 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 and I'd memorize the pattern, you know, like whoop.
Oh, nice.
You know the 1990s car alarms.
Yep.
Everybody had them.
Only 2 noises they make.
And then the very last one was.
Did you
and then
remember
knew
when
it
they
was gonna
started
turn off.
advertising that, like, the ones that would be like, step away from the car, and like how fucking cool it was? Like, I fucking have RoboCop or
It
like
would
Knight
suck
Rider.
to be in like the class. We had a campus style class, which is stupid because it was cold, and so we'd have to like wear coats and then take them off and wear them and take them off and wear them and take them off because we didn't just go to one building. We had 10 of them, and in Topeka, Kansas. Like this isn't, we're not in LA, guys. And so and they were like all built in like 1967, so they looked stupid too. But I loved my high school, but it was just kind of goofy. And We're the Chargers, and the mascot was a horse, and our colors were purple and white.
We were the Tornadoes.
That's better, but I lived in Topeka. We should have been the
except
Tornadoes.
The Golden Tours.
Oh, okay. There is a golden tornado in Kansas too.
Okay.
Coffeeville.
We were blue and yellow.
I think they're like blue and gold.
You know, I'm not into any of the color palettes of any of the schools I've attended.
My college was black and red, so I was stoked.
That's not, man.
Yeah.
You'd be way
mine.
more into LSU colors now than you were then.
That's true.
I think LSU colors
Why
are
don't
pretty
you?
good now.
Why haven't you done an LSU edition of something?
Because I don't care.
But it's handsome.
Yeah. But like I'll avoid it. Like even if I'm
Well,
like,
I'm
fuck
sorry.
that.
It's too. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's too with the grain.
It's just, I don't know. I had a good time going there.
But
I
it's
just
not-
don't
yeah.
identify as it
No.
at all,
like-
right? Like,
yeah.
look, it's a place I gave a bunch of money.
Well, I get it. I would never do that for my college either. So now I'm like my own points.
I mean, like, I think it probably at some point very early
also don't
on
design clothes, but-
we did like a Dirty South shirt.
yeah.
It was like one of our fucking like first 3 or 4 designs.
Sure.
Yeah.
And we did that one on a purple shirt with yellow.
Yeah.
And I mean, it sold.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
It's one day you might be like, oh shit. Well, you love purple lights and shit. You might get back there.
yeah. Like I'm not against purple.
No.
I just don't like it mixed with a certain tone of yellow.
I feel that. Harvest gold. So anyway, the turbo turd, the car, that lasted for a while. And then my dad had like 268 442s.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And then like when I went to college, I started driving my mom's old 1989 Mercury Grand Marquis, which was like a Lincoln.
Oh, so
Had
just
a-
like a big boat.
It had a vinyl top. Now, it looked like some of the guys' cars that had like their name on the back and like
Hell
big
yeah.
print. It looked like their car, but it was mine, and it wasn't that.
And it wasn't that.
I still, to this day, I need to get a car with subs.
I've only had one car that like
I might get a truck
invested
this
in.
summer, and I'll put if I get a new truck, I'll put a sub in it.
I
just like music to sound good.
my vehicle history.
Oh, 100%. I'm
not an audiophile, but I wish I was.
I'm a
I
little
wish
bit
I
of one.
was.
My very first car, I got a 1989 Nissan Frontier
Yeah,
with
makes sense.
200,000 miles on it. My dad traded my uncle Ferd a boat trailer for it.
Perfect.
So so little extended cab, put 6x9s back there.
Yeah.
I was weird adopter of technology early on.
Everybody had those tweeters, in their
So
car.
I had a mini disc player. Mm-hmm. No one fucking had them.
I had the
really?
tape converted
Yeah.
to
I
CD
I don't know.
Discman.
This is
Yeah, I had these mini discs. They were like these little plastic
Dog,
cassettes.
I remember those. I had but before
And they were
those,
fully proprietary to Sony. Like it was a huge pain in the ass.
before those came out, I had a tape cassette converter to a Discman.
I had one of those.
Yeah,
I had a bunch
we
of
all had
those.
The F-Men transmitters didn't work.
So I had that truck. No, I didn't have the mini disc player in that truck. I don't think I got the mini disc player till I got the Jeep because I was trying to problem solve.
Very few people went the mini disc route.
Yeah, so I fucking trashed that truck pretty quickly, taking it off road and mud riding. It was not great for that. But it did start the Sulphur High School Off-Road Club.
Nice.
Me and 2 other guys with 2-wheel drive shitty trucks.
I had in college, I had a MRSA staph infection in a place I can't talk about.
Oh, I got a bunch of those in
I
college.
had 2,
Sick.
but I was
I
the
went
second-
through like 9.
I was the second guy in the school that had it because it was early on in like 2005. And so it was like my junior year of football in college. And I just got like named a team captain for the next season. And like it was cool. And we were having a great spring ball season and we're supposed to be doing good. And so I played right guard like the deodorant. And that's how I got my mom to remember so she'd stop asking me. And so I had to go to the hospital because I like it. You know how all of yours probably had like a release point on them? Where it was like maybe like a zit?
I had to go fully into fucking surgery for one.
Me too.
Okay,
So my
yeah.
only one, or my first one out of the 2.
I still have a huge scar on my leg.
Yeah, I do too, but I can't show it to you. So
You're choosing not to.
well, that's true. There's really a day that I might.
All right.
So be ready.
Lucky.
lucky you, man.
Blessed is what I think they say.
Yeah, exactly. So I actually like went there and they were like, "Hey, I think you just have an abscess," and they sent me back home with some antibiotics. 4 a.m. I start to hallucinate.
Oh, sick.
My white blood cell count got really wild, like 19,000 or something like that. It was like close to septic or
Yeah,
whatever.
there's a major infection
toxic
in my
or
body.
whatever.
I'm trying not to die.
Well, it was spreading like back, and then it spread forward. And
I
I
had
was
same
to the
thing
hospital,
in my leg.
to the hospital. And so I like called security at the school, and I was an RA in the dorm, and I had to like ride in the security truck like on my knees because I couldn't sit down.
Oh, you're an RA?
Yeah,
Fucking nerd.
no, I was cool. I had my own 2
Oh,
rooms.
you
That's
were
why I
cool.
did it.
Cool RA.
Fuck yeah. Every RA,
If you-
no RA has ever gone on a podcast later in life and been like, I was a fucking piece of shit.
That's true. No other RAs are on podcasts.
I only took away some of their beer and then I
Yeah.
drank it myself.
You know, they're staying up late though, bro.
No, the only time I ever like actually really got a guy in trouble is when he was banging a girl in the shower, and I had to break it up a little bit because like 10 guys reported it or something, and I was like,
Oh, come
"Can't
on,
you
haters.
Can't you just wrap it up?"
Yeah, just fuck him another 15.
Just wrap it up.
Come on, he's in college. Support your fellow
It's like-
fella.
yeah, it's like, how are you gonna rat on a dude just getting laid?
I know,
Yeah,
right?
in fact, he's so in a bind. You know he
Also-
doesn't want to fuck in the dorm
the
shower.
room.
Also,
no
I
one
got,
does.
I got paid good for that job, and I had my own like 2 rooms with a king size bed.
Ah, it's fucking good.
And
You're
I
a
had-
king.
I had a whole setup with like Pulp Fiction posters and shit, DVD collection. You know.
Man, living that way is a really fun chapter of life.
It
Like,
is.
'cause,
So then so I was in the hospital, and they like had to cut all this out of me, you know, and then they found out at staff like 3 days later, expecting they didn't know.
yeah,
And
they have to send it off.
so then the president of the school, the new president, who's a complete baller, you know, I loved them both, Mr. Carey, Dr. Stephen Menace. I hugged him when I graduated, picked him up. And so he drove a Buick, and so he didn't need the golf cart anymore that had rims on it. So he let me use it for like 3 months. This turned into a good chapter.
Incredible.
And so, speaking of off-roading, I took it down the hill next to the soccer stadium and blew out all 4 tires. And the guys, it was a small school, so I knew everybody. And so the maintenance guys were so cool, they replaced them for me. And then they were like, just don't make us do this again.
Oh my God.
But
Dude,
like my friends would steal it and take it to McDonald's and stuff. But so I would, I love that thing. I would zip around everywhere, and then you could like throw it in neutral and go. We were on a hill. It was sweet.
dude, I got in trouble with a fucking golf cart at it was one of the world championships. We're at Dana Point in California. And so like the field we're throwing at's right next to the water. And so it finished up the day of the throwing. And so we decided we're going to head out to the water and go swim for a bit. There's like probably 7 or 8 of us. And it's one of those like greens carts that's got like just all metal, but it's like 2 rows of seats and then like a flatbed.
Yeah.
And so we steal that, and it's
A
like
gator.
basically, but it's a golf cart
Yeah.
with a 1 front wheel.
Got it. Oh yeah, the trike. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like
Was the steering wheel like this?
Not quite.
Okay.
It was still a full steering wheel, but it wasn't fucking great.
Okay.
So there's 6 of us on this thing, and it's like myself up front, and Sebastian Winta is driving, like who's finished 2nd at World's Strongest Man 2002. He's 6'8",
The big one.
Polish.
6'8".
Fucking yeah,
That's really tall.
Seabass getting to throw with him for all those years. Like they were fucking rad. The Polish dudes were so much fun to hang out with. Him and Uncle Lucas, Sebastian's brother, just looks like a fucking surly uncle.
Yeah.
Just all the time. So we're all in this fucking cart, and like we're cruising, and we're just gonna take it down to the beach, and like someone's like, "Hey man, there's a big hill coming up," and we're like, "Yeah, sure fucking thing, bud." Dude, we crest this thing, and at some point, Sebastian's next to me, and he's like, no brakes. And he's just like stomping on this fucking thing. And so, like, we're all trying to hang off the side of it, and like, there's fucking people everywhere on this hill, and we got nothing.
Oh no.
And dude, we're fucking getting it. So we're just fucking yelling at people like, get out of the goddamn way. Watch it. And like we end up making this turn at the bottom that there was a road that paralleled to the thing. Like if that road didn't have a turn, which we did not know existed.
Right.
If we had to hit that curb, yo, I'm really fucking hurt.
Yeah.
Like that's a big, heavy fucking cart. Like we had 2 people just fucking bailed and rolled down the fucking street.
Yeah.
Like it was gnarly.
Oh,
because
man.
I remember a point where I had spotted a bush.
Yeah.
And then I'd
I'm going
realize,
for that.
fuck, that's the last opportunity I had.
When I was a kid, when I learned how to ride my bike without without training wheels or whatever. We had this big row of bushes, and I would run into the bushes to stop.
Oh yeah, I would run into bags.
That was just my move.
Yeah. We fucked up a bunch of stuff like that too.
But that was back when you could like go 5 blocks and like jump it off stuff. You know, like anymore, like everybody's on top of their kids.
Oh man, we got hurt a bunch as kids.
Yeah.
We played outside a lot. Like I spent a lot of time in the woods.
My mom can do the double whistle thing.
Yeah, when I was really young, I spent like because my whole like dad's side of family was all farmers and stuff. So like we would go to like when we were at their place, we would play in the mud just all the time, like sliding around in like the mud in the cornfields.
That was
out of
fucking
season. It was fun.
That was a good time. Like messing with 3-wheelers and 4-wheelers growing up, and like just going mud riding and just. Just covering everything you own.
I had
and
the
dirt.
motorbike.
Yes.
This is why I've never been sick.
Yeah, exactly.
And like these weren't. Oh God! Like if I think about it now, like the places that we were in and just covered.
Yes.
There's been a lot of poop in my mouth.
Probably.
Oh man.
My mom. This is kind of funny. So when I was in like 4th grade, my mom had dreamed up like this kids fun place. Like it was called Magic Forest, and it wasn't a dispensary. It's called Magic Forest, and it was supposed to. Have you ever seen like
dreamed it up?
Have you ever seen like a Discovery Zone?
Yeah.
It was like that, but local.
Right, like a one-off without all the
like,
corporate sponsorship.
Yeah, and it was like bigger, and they had like pizza machines. And stuff like that.
Discovery Zone was pretty bitchin'. We had one in Beaumont, which I got to go to once.
I had the best Pog collection because of that place and Slammers.
I had some Pogs. I'm not sure I ever really learned how to play.
It was good.
What were the fucking actual rules of this?
It's like you put 10 Pogs down, and then you hit them with a slammer, and whoever flipped over more, you like had to take them.
That was the whole thing.
Yeah, and then you keep them. From other people.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So you had your favorite
I was
ones.
hoping that there was more to it than that.
That's it.
Okay.
So she had this place called Magic Forest, and then pretty occasionally, and I got to like help pick out all the equipment, like the zip lines and shit, which I was probably too fat to ride, but like the slides and the zip lines and stuff like
You're
that.
just a crash test dummy.
And then like I was like 9 or 10, so I got to like climb the stuff and like clean it and just be a part of it, all the time. And they had like birthdays there and stuff, and so
it's like you guys owned the place?
She was like a partner.
Okay.
And
so you had access.
She was like the managing partner, but not the money.
Right. So you were there occasionally when the place was closed.
When it fell through, she wasn't screwed.
Right.
And which happened. And so, but like kids would go down the slide and like have shit in their pants.
Of course they do.
Like, oh, you mean like shit, like actual shit?
Yeah. You gotta
like the fecal matter.
Brent, you gotta clear the whole ball pit.
Oh no!
Do you know the kid that like slides down? The kid that slid down with shit in their pants. I mean, everybody's hurting now. Smell. You got to close the whole ball pit. 2 slides.
Kids are so.
I would like have to
gnarly.
like. I would have to like spray the slide and then take a towel and like get on my hands and knees and slide down and clean it.
Man, I know. Like,
it would really smear.
Oh man,
I think
that was worse.
I think the puke in the pool was the one that happened to us a lot. Like if I'm thinking about my childhood in regards to like things that got closed down because a kid like shit or like lost their bowels just in something. I'm pretty sure it was the pool.
the baby Ruth thing.
We didn't do the public pool in Salford. It was pretty white trashy.
Yeah.
I didn't really do public
necessarily
pools either.
a safe place.
So we didn't like do the public pool a lot because we would at least know like somebody with an above ground pool.
Yeah, my cousins had a pool in Lake Charles, so we hung out there a lot.
We shared an alleyway with my cousins when I was like 5 years old and younger, and we had a pool in their backyard that we split ownership of.
Like I can look back now and like in the summer going to my Aunt Susan's and like swimming all day and doing all that with my other cousins, and like I never thought of it as a kid. I'm like, cool, we're gonna go swim all day. Well, the parents, I don't know what the fuck they're doing, and of course they were partying.
Yeah.
I look at it now and I'm like, fuck, because they're this age.
Yeah.
Parents don't really do that anymore, so like not enough. And so like I take my kids to the pool and we like
my parents were fucking lit when we
get
left.
down. But like when I'm there, like we're wrestling and playing and like I'm throwing them around, we're throwing the football and grilling out and stuff. So we have a fun time. We hang out at the pool all the time.
Heck yeah.
Like, oh, that's why you were in the good mood that one time.
They're always at their grandparents' house playing in the pool. Steve and Deb keep the pool warm.
Dude, one of the gnarliest days I've ever had to deal with a thing was Jesus. My dad woke me up and he's like, "Hey, we got to go out to Pawpaw's."
Yeah.
All right, what's up? And he's like, "Just get your shit. Let's go. Don't wear anything nice."
Those are the best.
Dude,
I have a story I don't want to forget.
and so I'm like, "What are we going to do, man?" And he explains, he's like, so your grandfather's a lunatic. And I'm like, yeah, I'm aware. And they had in their garage, mind you, it's two fucking old people.
Yeah.
But they're depression survivors, so they've hoarded things now.
Right.
So in their garage, there's 3 or 4 freezers
Yeah.
of food.
Yeah. They always had many of them.
There's just full of just fish and meat and
Anybody
game
that had
and
more than
birds
one
and,
garage always had more than one freezer.
dude, and there's 4 freezers in
Yep.
there full of food that they shop.
Yeah.
No one's eaten any of this in years. And so we had this big ice storm one year and lost power for like, 10 days or some shit. So Paul decided that won't be an issue again because he's getting a generator, got that whole bit sorted right out. And so he tests the generator on the garage, and then they left for the summer to go to the house they had in Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot to cut the power back onto the garage while they were gone for 20 days in August.
In Louisiana.
In Louisiana. Dude, it was probably 200 yards off of the street.
Mm-hmm.
And when we turned, I could smell it in the fucking truck.
So
boy.
I do remember this story because you had told me it before, but I didn't know about that part.
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
tough.
it was
terrible.
Dude, it was so gnarly. Like, it was just like, get the best breath you could and go in and be a fucking robot and just grab as much bleh and bring it outside and put it on a trailer.
Right.
And like by this point, like
That fed a lot of gators.
We're not saying the flies hadn't got to it,
that
right?
gator
Like
bait?
this is stuff that there was just maggots and flies and dead flies and like congealed gross. It was so fucking gnarly that we loaded the freezers up and burned them in a field. Mm-hmm. Like that was the solution. I think we
Just need a
burned the
forklift.
trailer that everything went on. Like I think fucking
the
it was a
garage
full sacrifice.
That'd be
Was
one
the
of those-
garage attached to the house?
No, there was like a little breezeway between.
Oh, I would have just burned that.
Dude,
You're in
would've skipped a
Louisiana in
couple
the
steps.
summer and be like, let's shoot fireworks at it.
dude, it was the smell. Like it was just you couldn't not the whole time.
Right.
It just
You didn't puke? You don't?
no, I never
No.
like it. Just
I've never
gagging
puked for
the whole
anything
time.
that grossed
I believe
me out.
anger had
But that'd be
driven-
close.
yo, like it seriously. Like I
It's like,
remember.
I always
yo,
tell
it was like
people-
I was in a fucking fight, man.
Hey, I
it was
always-
so intrusive. It was like I was goddamn getting beat up by it.
Whenever I'm talking to athletes that I coach, if they're not like intense enough, because like attitude's a lot of stuff, you know,
Sure.
like you gotta put something into it. And you gotta act like you care for your body to respond, you know. And I always tell them, and everybody can relate to this when I'm coaching people. I'm always like, "Hey, have you ever wrestled with somebody laughing?
No.
No, like when you're playing and you're laughing and you're wrestling and
Okay,
you're like
yep.
getting tickled,
Yep.
and you're so weak.
Mostly Bonnie.
Yeah. But she can beat your ass in that moment.
I'm aware.
Yeah, and like you might get a rear naked choke if you loosen up on that and you're laughing and being silly.
I should take you down.
And so, oh boy,
Careful, Lupe there
got
again.
it. So,
Ow.
but yeah. So, what was I talking about?
Being loose.
Oh yeah. So when you're laughing and you're wrestling, you're really weak. So I always tell them like you got it. But when you're pissed off when you're wrestling, like if you're wrestling somebody and you get hit in the nuts when you're in high school, you've never been stronger in your life than in the moment that you responded to your buddy after you got hit in the nuts.
That's fair.
You know, so that's how you should lift.
All right.
If you can keep cool,
That
you
adds
know?
up.
Yeah. Like you're more ready. Like, you know, I always tell people like when you brace, it's like if you're going to get hit in the stomach, are you going to have your ribs up or down?
I like them twisted. Is the way I try to protect myself.
So
I exhale and twist.
I'm quick. I feel like Mike Rashid's too cool to have to brace.
Fuck, he's so cool.
I think he just walks and cool comes off of him.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
He's a fucking cool guy, man.
I'm impressed with myself for that callback.
Yeah, he's so cool. Speaking of lifting, dude, you look great.
Thanks, man. I feel good.
Yeah, it looks like you're actually fucking moving weight again. You don't seem to be in pain.
Yeah, I'm still not that smart. Like I have my squats. My squat has digressed lately.
Well, welcome to the fucking club, my friend.
My squat has digressed lately, and here's the problem. And you and I've talked about this before. Is I didn't have to like try really hard to be good at lifting weights,
right?
And I loved doing it. So those two things together make you really good at it, you know? And so like, the thing that is wild about it is that any progress I make, I have to try so hard, and you get it. And, anytime you don't commit to that for a little bit, you go backwards. And so you get a choice in how far backwards you go. You get a choice for how much you can screw up your diet for how many weeks to go back a few pounds. And, and if you know yourself well enough, you can guess the number on the scale. And it's because it's become data, and that's okay. But it's just interesting, you know, the way that you directly know every single thing you're doing to yourself, positive or negative, at every moment in your training, if you break it down and care enough.
Yep.
And I'm not that committed to it. You know, like it's too fun for me to make it too serious. And I'm trying to find out, and I've unlocked more better versions of myself in that, and that's why I look better. And why I've lost weight and been able to kind of sustain new normals even when I'm not paying that close of attention.
Right.
So, cause I'm staying down around 320, which has been down 80 pounds.
Yeah,
and
dude,
I'll go
crazy.
I'll go like 318 to 333, and it always stays in check and gets around back in there. And I could do 1 week worth of effort and I'm back at 320.
Yeah, that's the same way I float, dude. I float anywhere from the right now 230-ish, 228. It's about as low as I've been when I got back from a motorcycle trip. But like, yeah, of course. I didn't fucking eat much.
Right.
And shook my body all day.
Right.
I imagine just weight just moves it
I
like
bet,
that.
yeah,
It's like
it
one of
has
those
to.
old machines.
Right. Yeah.
I've read that.
My mom believes in that.
Perfect.
She has one.
And then I'm probably 242, 243.
Yeah.
If I start seeing mid 240s, I'm tightening your shit up, son.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so when it comes to that, like, I do crave that next level of discipline that I've never had. And I didn't have to have that when I was good at lifting. It just kind of was a little easier.
Sure.
And so I'm having to learn that. And I'm learning it at an older age. And I know everything that adds up and that I have this amount of work to put in. And sometimes I'm committed to that. And sometimes I'm not. Like you talked about, you know, with the coaching and the gym and everything that goes on and the kids, you have a lot in your noggin. And sometimes you don't have a ton of space. And there was a time where we were just super busy and things were really tough. And you know, I was doing really well in some areas. And, but it was like, I felt like it was hard to stay afloat.
Yeah, dude. Like there's only so much you can fucking do.
The first thing that went was me measuring rice, you know, like at that point, like,
yeah.
And I thought I was like about to drown. I was like, I'm not going to freaking have any rice.
No.
So that's like, that's where that balance comes in and where I crave that next level of discipline, but that's not hard for me.
Right.
And I'm getting some of that in the new normals that, you know, come from having different disciplines, you know, in the stuff that I order. I don't go to the store anymore. I just hit the button on order what I ordered last week on Instacart. And it saves me. And I really love that app because when I click the button, it tells me how much time I've saved this year.
Dude, that's
every
the
time I
biggest
see
thing.
it, I'm like, because I'm not good at saving that, and that automates that for me. And I miss some of that going there and doing that. But if I'm
don't miss that
But
at
if I'm
all.
going to cook or something, I get to do that part that I like.
See, I've never missed
Yeah.
the going to the store thing.
No. I mean, like if you were going to come over and we were going to have steaks or something, like, and I wanted to go pick them out.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah,
like,
but, so
stuff like,
that's a
the only
different
thing
store
that's,
trip.
You know, yeah.
Yeah, that's a specialty item. I
Yeah.
still have to go do that.
Right.
You know, if you want to do that, if you want to cook or do any of that, you know, that's a thing I definitely miss. Like I did enjoy cooking for a period of time.
Yeah.
However,
I don't really do it anymore.
And I don't at all anymore.
I do for my kids, and I love that because they sit up at my counter and I sit there and chef
I'll
for 'em
cook
and shit.
steak, but I don't consider that cooking. Like I'm not making a gumbo. I'm
They
not
like
doing
breakfast
chili.
for
Like,
dinner, so I'm getting super creative on like how I put it together. Like I'll take their waffles and I'll like pre-soak them with a little bit of syrup so they get a McGriddle feel, you know?
fuck yeah.
I'm good at making breakfast.
Man. Yeah, I think there'll be a point in my life where I care about cooking again.
Yeah.
It's just not currently in this chapter. I have other things I would rather spend my time on.
Yeah.
But
Like I like going to other places and cooking.
yeah.
Like I cooked steak for Stu McGill. That was cool.
Fuck
Like
yeah.
in his backyard. It was like snowing.
Speaking
a
of
little
that,
bit.
man, like what would you attribute really helped your back? Because I know you went through everything.
Everybody that I work with that has an issue with their back and needs help, what I would say that most of them have a hard time with. It's pulling back far enough so the way I view it is like, this is me feeling good and this is my pain. So if anybody's ever had low back pain and has had issues with their low back, they've experienced these two things. And if they crash into each other, you don't feel good. Okay. So a lot of people who are even with pain in their progress, what happens is they need intervention, and they never get to the point where they relaxed and chilled out enough for long enough that they ever got ahead.
Right.
So Stuart McGill made me do absolutely nothing basically, except a few drills that I wasn't hardly disciplined enough to do all the time, but I did. And 6 months of rest basically.
Yeah.
I didn't do shit. And then I didn't do anything until I mentally could not handle not doing anything anymore. And then, and that wasn't his intent. Like, his intent was for me to fall in love with the process, and I didn't.
Like, could you walk? Could you?
Not well.
All right.
I still don't walk well.
Yeah, man.
With some of my left foot. So I've like thought about that, and I ordered the tib thing, and from Australia, and I haven't put it together yet. And shit. And but like, I'm starting to pay attention to some things that I haven't gotten to yet, but I can't do it at the expense of the other stuff I'm already not doing great to get myself ahead and stay ahead. So that's the thing, is you have to drop back and you have to chill. And you were forced to with surgery and rehab. So that's the thing that's effective about that intervention, is that you have to rest. The unfortunate thing is it seems like the people that are smarter than me, they think that there's probably way more surgeries on backs than are necessary.
I believe that's true.
Yeah.
Well, I believe.
So
I think there's a lot that could be done.
Yeah.
Through helping people get strong.
Yes.
And that's not a thing we value, and we don't really push preventative
Strong
maintenance
is the
at
wrong
all.
word, though. So strong isn't the word for the spine. Like, it needs to be stable.
Well, okay. Then I'm using the term, just different definition.
Yeah. You're what you mean is correct.
Yeah, I want to build a structure around to support the bones. I'm not trying to let the bones take the work.
But you're not meaning do RDLs.
No, fuck no.
So it's not a strength thing. It's like an inside out strength, right?
Yes.
And so like, I was listening to this podcast, Julie Fouché, the CrossFit Games gal. She's awesome athlete, and she's an MD.
Yep.
And so Julie and her
what a fucking stud.
Yeah, we're right.
Oh, I'll just do both of those casually.
Yeah. So Julie had this neurosurgeon. I wish I remembered his name right now, but it's a neuroscientist, neurosurgeon from Australia on her podcast. And he already sounds cool because he's Australian. And
probably a hunk.
Yeah. One thing he said, and I'm not trying to quote this right, but in the gist of it was, he said that there's something that we don't use in the medical language. It's not in the books, and it's most back pain is movement dysfunction. And he thinks movement dysfunction should be more of something that we define and look at in medicine, to where we can correct that. We don't have to cut it. And so when somebody like, for example, Cade, who's a really excellent lifter, amazing, guy that works at the gym and he coaches people, and he's awesome, Cade Proctor. And so Cade, when he does a regular conventional deadlift, he has a little in his very low back. And I can't get him to flatten it out. He's too aggressive.
Whoa.
But he's mobile enough to do sumo. Just pulled his first 804 sumo after doing it for 4 weeks, 6 weeks.
Fucking gnarly.
He's a beast. And he hook gripped 722.
Why do we all have to hook grip now? Why do we have to do that to ourselves?
I just don't want to put him in.
I know.
He's okay. He's okay with it.
I don't understand, like, as long as you're not, like, trying to curl it, how you're going to... Are you talking even from just holding it?
If you watch me deadlift, it's scary a little bit because I'm not real mobile in my upper body. And my arm is bent every freaking time. And I'm so, like, half of my setup, I'm thinking about how to keep my arm straight.
Right.
Because I'm like,
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's just because
it's definitely more. They're more common to have bicep tears from doing a over under grip than double overhand.
Yeah.
It's
so
just the people that I see that happening with, it's because they're curling the bar.
But, so here's how I look at this shit, guys. So
it just hurts. I'm not into
we know that he can. We already know that he can over under 804. He's already done it.
Yeah.
But if we could just find a way that's a little bit easier, because he gets more range of motion. It's it's lower in the hand. It's easier. It's easier to set.
Yeah. If you've got the hook grip thing, it's the fucking way to go.
Yeah. So so he had already done like 660 and he was like, hey, I'm curious if this works. And so I was like, yeah, look, hey, the way that I look at this stuff is everything's an experiment. None of us know the absolute truth of how everybody has to lift. The world records always look different. We don't know what the best way is for sure for everything all the time. So I just want to experiment with everything that they want to try, that I want to try. And a lot of times it works really good, you know?
Except 531.
Yes. So so basically, you know, I'm down to try anything with those guys, you know? And like he took off and flew with the hook grip stuff, you know?
Yeah,
and,
man.
you know, it's still a struggle and we still might do over under, but
Nah, you guys are fucking killing it, dude. I love seeing what you guys are doing. You guys are putting out great fucking athletes, and it's cool to see that you've got a rad community built around the gym.
yeah, it's great, man. And you know, the vibe in general is good, and it just feels good to want to be somewhere every day, you know? But I do need to like take breaks from it and stuff and like chill out and you know, being there always feels good now. When I was hurt, it didn't feel very good to be there. So when I'm in the room, like I swapped the speaker out the other day because the other one couldn't go loud enough. I got the one that I use at meets, the big one, and they saw me walking in with it. I had just taken my pre-workout.
Oh, nice.
And I walked in and they're looking at me and I'm like, hey guys, it's time to go. Like it's bench night.
Not today, bro.
And because it's just so fun.
I'm
you
in
know,
the fucking
sometimes.
zone.
Yeah, not now, Chief. I'm in the zone.
Yeah, just fucking on your shoulder,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
giant PA system.
Yeah, and so I immediately swap it over, and they're like, "What's wrong with the speaker?" And I'm like, "Nothing."
Goes to 10.
This one goes to 11.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
And so
I did appreciate to the motorcycle that I was on from Indian,
Yeah.
the volume goes to 11.
I appreciate that.
Right. I'm like, it's a choice. Someone somewhere made that choice because 10's obvious.
Hey,
Yes.
who's the guy that's getting the fist bumps for that idea?
I hope so.
I
Like,
want to give him
fucking
one sometime.
Touche, sir.
Wouldn't
I
it be great
appreciate
to be
it.
at like a dinner event and be
I
like,
like
"Hey,
that
I'm the guy that
everyone
made
else
11."
also said, yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. No,
Has
I think it's
anybody
awesome.
called the Indian and ever bitched about that?
No,
Never.
I hope not.
Never.
How could you?
Never.
You ride, right?
Well, just when I was a kid, I would, but I just not right now. It'd be dope too. I need to get one.
Man, I rode a lot over like a 3 or 4 year stretch. Like I had a couple sport bikes after college, and then sold it, and then kind of got away from motorcycles for about
Yeah, you're
12
more
years
into
until I
off-road,
went
yeah.
on this thing.
Yeah.
And I would never have wanted a bagger.
I saw a video yesterday of a Goldwing on doing off road, like the guy was like tearing it up, and it was to like a Motley Crue.
God damn
And
it.
but no, it was the day I saw you on the bagger, and I was like, that Indian was pretty, but it wasn't meant to
Dude.
do that.
No, dude. And so like that whole thing, right? Like, man, that bike was so fucking fun.
I bet it's cozy.
It's so fun. All your shit's there. I fully fucking get it. I just don't like the way they look.
My dad had bikes
But it was
growing up.
awesome. Dude, this thing had like a touch screen
Yeah.
and a stereo system that
Yeah.
sounded great.
Yeah.
Had a windscreen that you could raise and
I
lower.
I know the sound of a motorcycle stereo now. So whenever people are like, "What the hell is that?" and I'm like, "Motorcycle over there." Those baggers are loud, man.
Dude, it was so much fun. Like
Yeah.
just cruising down the highway. I was listening to Sublime or Weezer and like good fucking days.
I would
Oh,
want
those are good vibes.
personally like so if I like had a vibe for a motorcycle that like would make me feel like that's the one for me, it would be like the kickback, like hands
see,
up.
The
But it does
problem
have to
is-
be heart level or lower because my hands will go numb in 3
Yeah,
minutes.
see, I love
Powerlifter problems. I can't talk on the
It's the
phone for
growth.
5 minutes without my hand going
no.
to sleep.
it lets you know the growth is working.
Thank
it's
God-
perfect.
thank freaking God for speakerphones, you know?
Oh, dude. If I have to talk to you, like, I just don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking bicep pump out in no time.
Yeah.
My life is so sad.
I like put whenever I change
Oh,
cars
dude, if I'm
and I
doing
couldn't lean
anything-
on it right.
You could do seatbelt. Do you do you grab the elbow?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Wait, what? You have to grab your elbow?
It's fucking
You have
cool.
to get more, like you're doing a stretch.
Oh man,
It
that's
just
funny.
stops there naturally, and then
Yeah.
you just give her a bump.
It's like when you got the back blade in your hand.
Oh,
And
dude.
technically, I could turn.
You know what? I'm gonna be sitting in my car fucking one day, and I'm gonna try and reach for my seatbelt, and I'm not gonna do it, and I'm like, God damn it! Just
Yes.
fucking
Yeah.
ripping my arm over.
And you know you're
And then I'm
old.
like, shit.
Hey, I'll take if I had to like reach somewhere on my back or like for a scratch or something or whatever, then I'll like lean up against the door frame and like
Oh,
push my
yeah.
elbow further.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't bend great.
No.
So that's kind of the only, like, the bike I'm in love with would be like a modern cafe racer.
I was just gonna say you're a
It's
cafe
just
racer
fucking
guy.
beautiful. But what I
like
dig
gold
the super
accents
modern
and-
ones.
Yeah.
but I can't fit on one. Like,
They make them look cool.
My goddamn hip and knee.
There's a couple of
just
those
like,
ones that
nope.
they even older look that are bigger,
Yeah.
that with the big wheels.
Yeah, but the issue
kinda
is
vibe.
I need more.
They have like a banana wheel.
I need more hip.
They have a big banana wheel.
I don't like the old kind of almost military, like World War
I
One
know, you
style
want the little
bike.
tiny handles.
Yeah.
With
It'd be fun
shocks.
to zip around in.
Yeah.
Oh,
It'd be
well.
fun. Real understated.
I'll never be able to ride it.
I know.
I just have to stare at it and
Yeah.
fucking be pissed.
Yeah. I would like I think I would like four-wheelers and stuff. Like that was always fun when I was a kid.
Dude, motorcycles are super good
That
fun.
was the shit. I ran a three-wheeler through a shed one time.
I ran a three-wheeler through a barbed wire fence.
I whiskey throttled it 3 seconds into the ride.
Yeah, I got a huge gash on my thigh.
I tried to act tough
Oh,
when I
yeah,
was a
I remember
kid, but I
that.
was a huge wuss.
Yeah.
I wasn't tough till I was like in college, but when I was a little kid, I was so soft. Like they were like had this three-wheeler, and of course I was excited to ride it, but I didn't know what I was doing, and I zipped that thing right into the shed.
No, man, I knew, I don't know that I was a tough kid, but like I knew that if I got hurt doing something dumb,
Yeah,
that I was also going to be in trouble, which possibly meant getting hurt again for telling on myself. So I needed to fucking ride it out if I was
Sure.
going to make dumb decisions. And by
Right.
that point, I had proven that I was going to be making some pretty fucking dumb decisions.
one time I was like 12 years old, and it was summertime, so I like rode my bike a little too far. Like, and I could go wherever I wanted, but I wasn't supposed to cross like the busiest street in the city.
Yeah.
And so I did to go to the gas station to get some snacks. Of course, my sister asked.
That's a long way.
My sister asked me to go get them. And so I get the snacks. I'm on my way back, and the bag ripped, and I like, So I was like, I collected everything. I was going through the light, and I had to like go around a car. And I got around it, and a van hit me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was just a little chubby. I was just in my awkward phase. This is when I was real fat. I was like 11 or 12.
Bowl
I
cut.
think I was 11. Bowl cut.
Bowl cut kid with a bag full of candy
This was
gets hit
either-
in traffic.
This was either
Oh my
this.
God.
This was right before undershaved Jenko jeans.
good. Wizard JP is a great chapter.
So listen to a lot of corn.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
We all did.
So I got hit by this van, and the lady didn't even get out.
She didn't even get out.
She like looked out the window. She had a van. I'm like, lady, you have kids. You're an
you
asshole.
okay?
And she's like, you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fucking.
Did you fucking spill out like on the street? Like how the fucking
I had like the wind knocked out of me, and I got up, and my bike was fine. And I got up, and I like just like kind of limped over and
man,
left.
I haven't had the wind knocked out of me like that. Like being a kid like
Yeah,
that.
taking a bump.
Like, like just fucking all the air
Slap the
you've
sound out of
ever
you.
fucking had in your entire life has just been
It's
shot
gone.
out of you, and your
Yeah.
lungs are vacuum sealed.
If you eat shit on the ice, that's close.
Yeah.
That hasn't happened in a long time.
No.
So,
So,
a minute.
So yeah,
God damn it, there's a dog in here.
Moose is here somewhere. My little guy.
Wow. Incredible.
He's
What an
pretty
incredible
quiet.
creature.
He's quiet.
I dig his vibe. Big time,
So,
dude.
I didn't tell you this. So, Moose, my Boston Terrier, I'm not going to wrangle him.
No, he's doing great.
He's a 4-year-old Boston Terrier. He's red, so he's real handsome looking. And he was from Mid-America Boston Terrier Rescue in Kansas City. Shout out. And they had him, and they said he was like a puppy mill dog, like he was bred or whatever in a puppy mill on a farm. And
Shit's
so
a bummer.
I hadn't heard any more, and so I was like, "Hey, how'd you guys get him?" From the puppy mill. And I was just curious, like if they had to like buy him or what, And just wanted to learn about his past, to wonder why he is the way he is. He's a unique dog. He's cool. And they said that he was taken from a farm in Springfield, Missouri, where a lady was hoarding monkeys.
What the fuck?
Man. Yo,
How about that?
so
I
that
don't wanna
again just
expose them
drives
to a
back to
monkey.
just drives back to another point that I've been making occasionally, Brant. There's a lady that hoards monkeys, right?
Yeah.
Close to here.
They don't let us pick the president.
No.
Like that lady doesn't get a vote.
No, yeah.
Like you can't trust us
I bet
with
she's
important
got,
things.
She's
like-
got signs in her yard.
I'm sure she does. Oh God, dude, fucking people are.
So I don't know what Moose is. I
bonkers.
don't know what Moose has been through. So Moose is quiet and like he'll let you pet him and stuff, and he's cool, but he's a little timid and he's scared of like
you
big.
can definitely tell.
He's a little scared of bigger dogs, but he's cool. Like he's just chilling.
Oh no, he's chill.
And but there's like 4 people in the world that he like goes nuts and acts like the most energetic Boston Terrier of all time when they're around. And it's like my mom, you know, and everybody else, it's like they all have blonde hair. Women, only women. He loves women, and all the girls he gets excited for like that, they have like dark blonde hair.
Interesting.
And he likes my kids a lot, and they're blonde hair.
Racist.
He'll
Seen it coming a mile away.
He tolerates me, but he's also sick of my shit too. You
Yeah,
know?
I'm sure,
Like,
right?
Conclusion.
Yeah, like any roommate,
yeah, exactly. We're roommates for sure.
for sure.
We're roommates.
Dude, yeah, we got a new cat.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We
I've
have
seen
Doug
him.
the Thug.
Yeah, he's cool.
Dude, he's
a
such a dick.
He's a
Oh
thug.
yeah,
Dude, he's such a dick.
makes biscuits.
Yo,
But like he's just fucking declared jihad like on our fucking succulents in the guest bedroom.
Oh.
He just will go in there and remove them all from the pot, and then like Bonnie finds like these succulent petals with all these dumb teeth marks in it, like all over the house for the next fucking like 3 days. This little asshole. Or like through the night, he's for sure coming in the room to fuck up something.
Yeah, can't trust him.
No.
So my parents, I don't like cats very much personally. I like Ollie. He's cool.
Yeah,
But,
Ollie fucking rips.
Ollie's dope. So
yeah.
Incredible kid.
He's one of the coolest.
I'm into
animals I've
Ollie,
seen.
but like I had a dog that had her eye scratched out
He's
by a
real
cat when I
fat,
was a
though.
kid. He's thick.
Yo, he's thick.
He's thick. I fell asleep
So
on
heavy.
I fell asleep on your beanbag downstairs one time, and I woke up and he was making biscuits on my tummy, and like my shirt had like rid up on it a little
Oh,
bit.
yeah.
And he was like, and so my parents, they got a cat that I like. My dad, they're on like a farm now, and so my dad is like, yeah, she's pretty cool. She's got 42 confirmed kills.
Oh Jesus.
She'll like put stuff on the steps for him, you know.
Yeah.
And he lost count.
Yo, neither of mine are killers. neither
I don't
of
know.
mine.
I feel like Doug has a hidden killer in him.
Doug the Thug, dude. He's
'Cause he
been
was a sewer
fucking.
kitty.
He just fights Ollie. So apparently he's a sewer cat. He's very food weird.
Oh yeah.
Like if we're eating, yo, he's showing up like a dog. He's like, "What the fuck's up?"
Yo, what's up?
And like steal onions off of stuff. Like he wants weird food. Like
Yeah.
he'll eat fucking onions.
Dogs can't eat
He's
onions.
about that eat right food salmon.
Oh, I bet he is.
Dude, if I'm in the kitchen, he is definitely coming in like, sup. I'm like, yo, I'll help you bulk.
I'll give
Let me,
Moose
get
like
you, let me get you some of this.
I'll give Moose like an egg or a piece of salmon or something, and he's like, "What is this, sir?" he'll like dissect it for like 20 minutes. He's like not sure about it, you know. He like wants to take it somewhere where I can't see him. So like, I give him
Like,
his
yo,
favorite
what are you
treats.
doing? I've never tried to poison you, and you're into brown pebbles.
I just handed this to you, and you're gonna fucking run away from me now.
Yeah.
But I always put it on my story. I'm like, here, Moose, here's your favorite treat. Okay, take it, run and take it. He like runs so he can't see
Jesus.
me. And then I'll go around the corner just to screw with him and look at him, and he'll stand there with it in his mouth like an idiot.
Oh, dude, weird moment with Doug the other night. I caught him shitting.
You don't make eye contact
but-
with cats when they shit a lot.
He's like his head
He
sticks
looks away
out.
from me.
He's just tucked into the litter box and his head sticking out of the hole, and like the fucking death stare this cat had just fucking locked in, and like I got in front of him and like tried to get in his eye way, and he just 1,000-yard straight through me. It was very impressive.
He was shitting out
man.
those succulent petals.
Oh, I bet his shit's gotta be. Bonnie fucking pulled this big
string,
yarn out of his ass. This big macrame yarn. Like she had to like press it against the floor, and like he was really close when she started.
Yeah. And then he ran
And
away.
like he slowly watched this
Just like a
thing
magician.
remove himself from.
Oh.
She was just like, oh no, oh,
Like a magician pulling a
why?
cloth.
Just yelling in the house. She's like, fucking not okay for a bit, dude. That was a lot.
Too much string in the butt.
Yeah.
Doug, you're a disaster.
Dude, he is sewer kitty through and through.
Sewer cat.
My
man.
my first dog, I had a dog named Rufus. He was like a white. Yeah. He was a rescue. And he was like a white, like pit American Bulldog kind of mix. He's all white with a black eye, brindle eye. And real sweet little dog. It's kind of big. He's like 80 pounds, but he was really, really cool dog, and he's friendly with other dogs and stuff, and friendly with kids and everything. But he was definitely one when he would get away, and he like thought it was so fun that you were chasing him.
Oh, you bastard!
That's that game, that meme that's out, like where it's like, have you ever tried to chase your dog?
Dude,
and they thought it was a game.
That was one of the worst moments when I was a kid because we were like taking care of my dad's dog, it was our dog or whatever, and it was at our mom's house, and he like got out and like ran past me. I started to chase him, and I like couldn't catch up to him because I'm a child, and I'm not gonna catch a dog. I couldn't catch a dog now, and like he won't stop fucking running, and I'm just bawling. I'm like, come back. And then I've been running we probably ran like a mile or two before I was like, all right, I'm going to go back and get help while I'm bawling. Yeah. And then he stops while he's all like happy. And he's like, oh, he's running the other way. Then he comes back with me. And I was just so confused. And I was bawling my eyes out. I'm like, he's running away. My dog's gone. And and like he was just having fun, and I'm like, "Fuck you!" I'm like, "You're a piece of shit." Thought it was a game,
and
they're fucking lunatics.
So
they can't be trusted. This is why we can't have like conversations. Dogs aren't allowed to speak to us.
So Rufus, he was really a cute dog, really really interesting guy, right? And my mom and dad had like a security company, home security, and that's why my mom worked from home. And so they had bought time like with the local news, like for an advertisement for the dog rescues and stuff. And so I was actually in a commercial with Rufus when I was like 23 years old. And we're sitting.
You've been on TV so many times.
We're sitting on the steps of like my grandparents' house, and and I had like whipped cream and I like shot it into his mouth. Like it was like the end of it was funny, And so the funny thing, and it was like about spaying and neutering your pets,
Fucking Christ. Cut off his balls, but treat him to some creams.
Yeah, exactly. And it was
good for him.
It was good because he was a pit bull,
Oh, sure.
And so Rufus, we were in this commercial, and it played in my hometown, but not where I lived, right? But I didn't realize it played like every day during the news multiple times in the morning and the evening. And so like when I would come back home and we'd like go to a bar or something, people would be like, that's the guy that's in the commercial with his dog and the whipped cream.
Oh my God, the talk of the town.
I get like free beers and stuff. Because I didn't realize that every one of these people that I went to high school with have to watch me in the morning as they get dressed for work.
Oh my God.
That's funny.
You know what I mean? Incredible. And like my friends' parents. But I never saw it. Like I saw it like one time when it happened,
That's probably good. I feel like it'd be kind of annoying seeing it like all the time.
Yeah. Dude, that's my whole filmography. I have nothing else.
There's definitely like a thing. I guess it's missed.
Yeah.
So we had like a local car dealership in my hometown. Bolton Ford or something like that.
Yeah.
And this guy would make commercials, but the commercials were like movie parodies.
You got to look up the Winnebago commercials.
I've seen all those. Yeah. So this guy would make these like parody commercials of Star Wars or something like that. And it was like him and his wife dressed up. And it was just like, you're not going to believe the deals down at Bolton Ford, so like in front of this weird green screen. And like, we're talking mid 90s.
Yeah. Just so bad.
But I look at that now and I'm like, yo, that's fucking awesome.
Right.
I'm so stoked that guy's like, fuck it. Let's have fun.
Yeah.
Let's make bullshit. Like, I super fucking dig it that like any popular movie that came out, they did a fucking parody of, and it played on local TV.
Like shtick to have, like that.
Yeah, I remember being a cynical kid and being like, this is stupid, but fuck it as an adult. And I'm like, fucking good work, man.
Right.
Killing it.
Yeah, he's doing awesome. He's trying hard.
Fuck yeah. I hope he's doing great.
Selling out.
I hope he's fucking doing great in life. Fucking, what a maniac at that time to do that. That like, fucking, I'm buying a video camera. I'm trying to go viral.
Right.
On VHS. It's one of the only things that I've wanted to look up and I can't find it.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
So there was something like that the other day where somebody said something and I was like, this has to exist. And it didn't. And I was like, damn, how did we miss that one?
I'm curious if you just don't have the right search terms.
Well, okay, so I know
like
that
Bolton
somebody's going to
Ford
bring
movie
up this
parody commercial, Sulphur, Louisiana.
Like,
no. I'm saying like, yeah, that's pretty specific. I'm saying like in general. Sometimes it's just like,
I know what you mean.
I wonder if it's there.
Sometimes shit's really hard to search for because
I definitely
keywords
believe
are tough to like pare
because
down.
Amazon is now so gigantic.
Yeah, it's so robust,
If
and they
I
also
can't-
prioritize you seeing other stuff
If
before
like
what
I
you
want to
want.
buy a thing,
Yeah.
and I can't find it, or I can't find it on Google, I assume I'm not typing it correctly, and not that it doesn't exist.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I got these like really rad vans that like are the Aloha
That light
edition.
up?
They're the Aloha edition.
All right.
And so they look like a vacation, and they make me feel good every time I put them on.
Hell yeah.
And if I'm not wearing socks, even better.
Ooh.
And so,
Well, you just know they're on the clock.
I'm gonna find. Do you have wide feet?
I don't know. Not
You
particularly.
can custom get them wide now, which I order. So I'll order another pair, and I'll get you some slip-ons.
All
And so they go great with like your olive shorts. I love them best with those because they have palm trees on them. And,
Man, we have some fun shorts are coming.
I know, I've seen them. And so the last release, Cade Proctor, I reminded him that it was 20 minutes until it was released, and I was with a client, and he bought everything, and then I missed it all, and he didn't help me. And so, Cade, I'm still upset with you. And no, it's great, but so yeah.
Man. God damn it, Cade. You blew it.
No, it was, and they look really good. He's worn a different pair for the last 3 days.
Well, he's out of shorts then.
He went blue, green, and then black.
Nice.
He wore
I
black
dig
for
those,
his
man.
squats.
I like the terrazzo thing that we did with the just adding a texture to it.
So how'd you make your own short? Like
So the whole process.
a lot of people aren't doing their own short.
First thing we did was Nick Kumalatzos through Raider Project had made some like MMA shorts.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing them at Summer Strong. I don't know what year that would have been, 2015.
Yeah.
So I was like, holy shit, these are rad. And because I hadn't even thought of anything possible getting made like that yet. Like we have a couple shirts. I think we're still on like the first design on different things.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, yeah, we did them. Like, I'm like, what are the minimums? And he's like, I think only like 200 and they cost this much. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I'm like, can you put me in touch with the people that make those for you?
Yeah.
And he did. And I've never used a different manufacturer. She's been awesome to deal with.
Yeah. That's cool.
And so we've just, from that point on, I started there and since have changed the waistband, changed the length, changed the cut on the leg, changed the
adhesion of the logo. Like
yes,
gone through every revelation.
Every time we try to add something to them and make them better.
Yeah.
They've just been a great
like
short
people ask
for
me
us.
like, hey, what's that with the revolver?
Yeah, I like the new logo.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
cool.
the more minimalistic logo.
The front of the socks are dope like that.
Yeah, I dig it with the three of them.
I got a meet. I'm going to do a meet November 11th, I think it is, something like that. And I'll wear those for deadlift.
When is the showdown meet?
September
end of
24th
September.
or 5th? 25th, 4th and 5th?
I don't think I'm going to be able to go.
25th.
I think I'm in Africa.
That's a good reason.
Yep,
It's a good
25th,
fucking
so-
good reason.
I don't. Yeah.
But I mean, no, I like going.
Yeah.
Luke's awesome, man.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
He's great. He's so good for the sport.
Dude, and
It's easy to do business with him.
like even a sponsor, and like I dig the dude. He's been great to work with, and that's one of the reasons Eat Right's food has always been super rad.
They've done a great job, man. They've been part of the reason why it's easier for me to keep off 80 pounds.
You're saying like
so
a big part of why I've been able to stay leaner.
they're my protein supplier.
Yeah.
So yeah, Eat Right Foods, check them out. They're dope.
And I mean, not only
they're
that,
the best.
like, this is one of the companies that has invested in strength.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't chased the other bullshit,
yeah,
and so they give a fuck. Like they put on meets, they do stuff.
Right.
And to me, man, if you get a chance to vote, you vote with dollars.
yeah, and they are a genuine small business that was started in Buffalo and now ships all over the country. And it's just like I've gotten to see like him do new things in his business and share them, and like pushes me because he's not like got this huge company, but it's doing big things.
Dude, they are.
And
Like,
it inspires you to like do your own stuff. And so that's why I like hanging out with you. We're bullshitting, but like we also, before that, we talked about, subbing out contracting to make
just
more
how to
time and money,
scale, scale your business.
And then still be able to be genuine doing it because you've done some smarter things to free yourself up to do it.
Well, it's just trying to figure it all out, right?
Yeah.
And then
Luke does that beautifully.
right. And those guys are fucking really good at stuff.
Yeah.
And it's been cool to work with them as long as I've got to.
Yeah.
It's been really rad to see what they've grown as a business too. So, man, good on them. I can't
Absolutely.
imagine doing that business
Yeah.
because that's a lot of things that have to be done. Like that's a tough gig to run.
Scaling,
That
Yeah, I
big
mean,
kitchen.
scaling that is a
Food in
big step.
general. I mean, food in general, like restaurant, anything like that. I just feel like dealing with food
Right.
is hard.
Everything's on such a short window
Right.
of like
Yes.
get it and go.
Well, because it's good for a week.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
Just
it's
think
good for
about-
a week before it starts to probably get bad, and then like
Right.
by 2, it's 100% not good anymore.
Think about
So,
this too. Think about selling shirts to somebody across the country is easier than selling them in person.
Oh, 100%.
Food's the opposite.
That is true. Shit, I didn't even think about that.
They got to do gel packs and ice, and in the summer to ship to me, and you, it's 100 degrees, and they got to use 5 ice packs.
No,
and
it's a fucking disaster.
It
of a
comes in
business.
space bags, and they're always frozen.
There's no part of me that wants anything to do with being part of that business.
Bunch
Other
of
than like if I
magicians.
could throw money at Luke and at some point later he gave me more of it back.
Yeah.
I would go for that as long as I didn't have to help.
Yeah,
Because whatever he's doing is great.
Dude.
Let
I don't
me
wanna
just
help,
stay
here's some
over
money.
here. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's good at what he does, man. But yeah, so easy to do business with Luke. Luke Bright, good man.
Killer, man. Killer.
Luke and Maria about to have a kiddo. So she's I think she's gonna give birth right around the showdown. So
Whoa.
yeah, she's gonna. I think she'll probably be there. But they've just done an awesome job. They're so cool.
Dude, you got Hunter put on a hell of a fucking show, huh?
Yeah, she's wild. She's the second strongest woman in history, or second strongest powerlifter in history by a score.
I need to get her down here, man.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's doing a bodybuilding show in a couple
She
weeks.
looks-
Yeah,
She
I was,
looks
dude,
crazy
oh my
already,
God.
dude.
I was like, what the fuck?
All I can say, and Hunter will appreciate this because she, she doesn't always have to say a lot, and she does a lot, and so for her, just stay tuned.
Yo,
Like for her bodybuilding, for her powerlifting, just stay tuned.
Dude, it's like she just swapped over, and I'm like, she looks like she's ready on stage already. I'm like, she just has to cut her water, and she's good.
The funny,
Like,
the funny
Jesus
thing
Christ.
is like she's so shredded right now, and she looks
It's
like
insane.
she looks like she looks when so much more shredded than even when she competes.
Yeah.
And she's still the same weight as what she competes. So she's really manipulated her diet. She does
Dude,
everything perfect. She's
everything
wild.
I've ever heard about
Yeah.
her is she's just got the discipline thing.
Yeah.
You already heard me talk about how my lack of discipline slows my healing, and
Yep.
I mean it'll tank my squat 100 pounds if I screw off for a month. And but she's just on top of those little things, and the great ones are. And so it's when you have that natural propensity to do that, and the natural muscle thickness, and the ability to just be massive, and then also be able to move, and then also do everything right.
Right.
You know?
It's always fun
Yeah.
when you get to be close to an athlete and get to see it all.
Yeah,
Like see
Yeah.
it all play out and just like, holy shit.
And
watch.
the cool thing about it is like in our atmosphere, it's that, but then it's also like everybody's up with it, like when somebody's doing good, we all do good. Like that's
Hell
why,
yeah.
that's why I like feeling good, because I feel like the gym and I get to have fun there.
Well, we've all been in gyms that aren't,
Yeah. Yeah.
that are,
Yeah. I want it to be a place where it's like, yeah, we all want to be here. And it's my business and your business too, is it's, we want you to want to be here.
hell yeah, man. I'm not, no one's
We're
forced
not
to do
forcing
anything.
anybody to do anything. That's why I don't have contracts, babe. Like, you don't have to be there at any certain time. You don't have to have any certain coach. Like, be there when you want, pay your dues, and everybody gives you respect because you found that spot.
I do. You guys run a fucking great gym.
I love it. It's like it feels good to be a part of it.
Yeah, dude. I think you guys have done a great thing.
Feels good to be a
where
part
can
of
people
people's
find
lives,
everything, man?
Yeah, Instagram's where I do most of our business, at JPLifts_SBC. And, everything that you go through Strong Barbell Club, strong_barbell_club, it all goes to me. So just hit me directly or there. And everything on our Google site, everything goes to me. So feel free.
There you are, man.
I'm an open book. I do coaching. I help other people get to coaches if I don't have spots. We do in person, we do online. We just want to help people. We want to help people feel good every day.
Fuck yeah.
Because I want to feel good every day, Matt.
Dude, same. I don't have any desire to not.
Yeah.
That whatever years of enjoying that are bitter gone.
You focus on it, man, and then you start like really wanting that everybody to be able to feel that, and you just try to get out of your own way. And I've been in my own way a lot, for a lot of people, and I don't want that to be the case all the time. And it's hard to like completely change that, but you can, slowly.
That's good, man.
Yeah,
you're supposed to want to get better, right? Like, there's not a problem with fixing things. The problem is ignoring them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all right that you got work to do.
Yeah. You can't have that fear all the time.
Nah, man. It's not a good place to be. Operating out of fear.
Nope.
It's just such a restrictor. For me, fear's been boiled down a lot of times to it's just a matter of, experience and exposure to whatever it is.
Yeah.
And you can get in control of that. And then the more comfortable you are doing harder things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fucking super high.
Hey, thanks for having me on, man. I really love being out here and seeing you. And you're about to go on a really fun trip, and I'm going to really enjoy watching it. And maybe I'll see you somewhere along the way. And, I think that everything that you try to go out and do is rad, and I appreciate being a part of it. And that was a really fun hang. I need to update my IMDb.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much, man.
Right,
Thank
buddy.
you guys for listening. Spread hate, always party.